If a person is a Republican and they're an incumbent, then we are supposed to get behind that person and ignore perhaps more qualified people that are stepping up to the plate. And even though Dr. Fisher is not on the panel, I would love for you to address this because I know you're a very vocal and get it done person. I would like to know what the Republican Party on the Forsyth level, and Guilford County isn't here unfortunately, but just across the state, what they are going to do to encourage people to step up against the incumbents that may have been voting the wrong way and voting our money out of the state. So I'd like to see what's going to happen in 2010 to make that difference so that those of us that are stepping up and helping get people elected don't feel as if we are fighting windmills.
Let's go Dr. Fisher, Nathan, and Jared on this question.
I'm very happy with Richard Burr, and I'm going to vote for Richard. And I'm going to tell you why. No matter what he does, he'll always be my senator if I got to vote. North Carolina's largest employer, secondary to government, is healthcare. And I don't think there's anybody out there who may run who knows healthcare and some of the issues better than that. They did a good job in postponing this vote, but we still haven't answered the question, what are we going to do on healthcare? If there's a candidate out here that you are displeased with, I tell everybody, tell me. I'll take it directly to them. And the candidates pretty much know, and the congressmen pretty much know, I'll call their office and talk to any of them anytime if somebody says they can't reach them. So the only reason you should have a concern that you couldn't reach them, you didn't call me. And if you call me, I think I gave them the input and have brought a few people's feet to the fire. That's my role. Now, I might not get reelected when my seat comes up, but I've taken on Michael Steele and everybody else, and I said, we can't continue like we're doing. We have to have answers to solutions to problems. And I'm very happy with Dale Farwell. I'll do anything to keep him elected. And I don't think you're going to show me somebody that's better qualified than Dale Farwell. I'll disagree with him, and I'll tell him I'll disagree with him. He'll tell me I'm full of it and sit down. And so I like Dale, and he's a very rational person. I don't think there's anybody in the State House that I bet that you can't talk to if you got an issue. And what you need to do is to call these folks and hold their feet to the fire. They ain't God. And you need to tell them, you're not doing the job I sent you there. They might, and if they don't answer, you call me, I'll come back at them. Call the state party, they'll come at them. We don't stop anybody from running for office, and one of our platforms says that we cannot interfere in any election until the primary candidate is chosen, and that's your choice, who that candidate will be. We don't, I like Richard, and I'm supporting Richard. I don't know if anybody's running against him, but if somebody runs against him, I have to shut up, because until the primary has been decided, the officials of the party are prevented from taking sides. Now, if you got somebody you think that's better, you got to talk them up, get the publicity out there so people will know who that person is. And I can't do anything.
Ms. Fisher, can I get that in writing that you would shut up at some point if something?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just playing. To answer that question, and I know Dale wants to say something, for Forsyth County-wise, from the Senator Burr to Virginia Fox to down to Dell and Larry Brown and Pete Brunstetter and Bill McGee, Forsyth County is very blessed and fortunate to have the elected officials that we have that represent us in Raleigh and in the federal. I don't agree with them at all times, but I think overall they are doing an excellent job. And if I could real quick, 2 seconds, because I know we're on time. Elected officials and candidates that are here, can y'all stand up so people can see to know who's here, so we know who cares about what we're having to say? Deborah Conrad's a county commissioner. Obviously we have Dell and Brian. Remember that. You want to know who to support? Everyone was invited to come here this evening. Here's one that's sitting here. The other issue that is the two is organization, precinct organization. You want to change an election, be organized. early voting, phone banking, standing at the polls, handing out cards. But the biggest, and this is the absolute biggest, and having ran for office twice, and BJ can be part of this, and other people who have ran, money. People are like, oh, I didn't like John McCain. Would you give Mike Huckabee or someone else money? No. We get, again, where's my bottle? You are what you drink. You get the candidates that you give money to. If you want to primary an incumbent, bring the money. Grassroots only changes in an election 5 to 7 to 8, 9, 10% at the most. Grassroots will change an election. You want to knock somebody off by TV, by direct mail, do social media, Facebook, Twitter, internet, email, and things like that. So if you're unhappy with somebody, organize, raise money. Look at clubforgrowth.com. When the federal basis is knocked off, as far as incumbents go, Club for Growth have knocked off more rhinos and liberal Democrats in primaries than any organization in American history.
Can we get Jared to say a remark on this real quick? He's working with the youth people.
Yeah, to address your question specifically, I think a lot of people in America have it inverted, and that's why I harp on localism so much, because people think it's the job of the GOP. Well, how come you guys aren't getting good candidates for us? That's your job. That's not the GOP's job to find good candidates. Certainly not, and especially at the local levels. You have to, for example, we'll take BJ's case, for instance. The establishment in the 4th District put up a candidate that was not a conservative, did not believe in the Constitution, was not necessarily the best person for the job. BJ Lawson, like you said, he's not a politician. The GOP did not field him as a candidate. The people fielded him as a candidate. There was a movement, and that's what my organization is designed to do. It's to inspire movements in communities. BJ did lose in the general election, but he smashed the establishment person that was fielded by the Republican Party, who was encouraged to run. No infighting when it's too late. Now's the time to take action. Start getting people organized, and that's what it's all about. Like Nathan, I'd echo the statements that Nathan said, phone banking, volunteer organizing, and there's all sorts of different models that we offer. I would encourage you to go to yearofyouth.org. We do free publications, we do training seminars, and if nothing else, we can act as an information vessel to point you to anywhere you need to go as far as getting informed about how to run a successful campaign if you feel that your representative is not doing the right job.
I just wanted to add that I think it's important when somebody doesn't know, how to answer your question, they say they don't know the answer, and I don't know the answer to your question. I do know this is about ethics, and you're probably asking yourself, what does this have to do with ethics? Ethics is what you do when no one's watching. North Carolina's become the most corrupt state in the United States. Executive branch is being indicted, our Speaker of the House is in jail, federal prison. We have all kinds of people going to federal prison. And the reason I say that ethics is what you do when no one's watching is because what happens is people get elected by saying one thing, and then they go to Raleigh and do something exactly the opposite. And those people have lost sight of what the word representative is. It's to represent the 64,000 employers. The voters are the employers. The representative is the employee. And they've lost sight of that. And that's what primaries are for, and that's what elections are for. And Guilford County did a great job of this in the municipal election just 4 short months ago, and hats off to you guys.
I'd like to say something about that. That's actually what this event is about, is a call to action. It's about getting people like you, like yourself, involved. It doesn't take an army to get elected to a county commissioner seat. It doesn't take a lot of money. 30 people, I mean, it's staggering. It just worked on my mind that there's 30 votes being cast for a mayor or a commissioner seat. That's something we can do. That's something each one of us can do. If each one of us here will participate in a way that would produce some results like this or become a candidate